For research purposes, we're going to go ahead and look up Luka in his underwear because, you know, we're researching for basketball. Fat boy. Like, let's give him a chance to defend himself from the fat boy allegations, please. Luka, if you can hear me in the ethos, get my man King Bron, one more ring. Let him retire with 5, and I'll have nothing but respect for you, my boy. What's going on, everybody? That's it. That's all I would have. I'm a react content creator / streamer. I like to react to everything, whether that be TikTok, YouTube, drama, nonsense, or basketball and the modern NBA in general. So if you like basketball content, I'm the guy for you. You like drama content, I'm the guy for you. I also find myself streaming. I've been streaming a lot these days, gaming, just yapping to you guys. So if you like game streams and just me yap about nonsense, I'm also the guy for you. Today, we are going to be talking about the Luka Doncic trade that just took a new shocking turn by Mike Korzemba. Now, before we get that started, you guys know what I gotta do. You guys know what I gotta do? Should I open it up? Let's go ahead and open up the horn. Oh, there we go. Let's open up the horn. You guys know exactly what's going on here. It is our 2-minute rundown. 2-minute rundown. You know the rules. I got 2 minutes to tell you how I feel about the series so far, what I saw in the last finals game, and what I think is going to happen in the future. So, with that being said, 2 minutes on the clock. Let's start going. One thing I want to get off the bat straight away is that this series is not something that I thought it was going to be. It is interesting, it is fun, and it's not a blowout whatsoever. I think I really underestimated the rookie head coach of it all. Like, that is an important key factor of this shit, and I think one thing is being shown is that having a good head coach means a lot more than people have understand in the past. Now, when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, okay, he's playing well, but I need him to have one of those explosive games. One thing that I keep bringing up is that he's going to have to play better. 1 for 7 from 3, okay? He's going out there, he's giving you his assists, and I get all that, but you're not going to be able to pass your way past the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're going to have to get in there and demand the ball more, all right? At the end of the day, I understand that he is a overall just a cool, collected player that likes to help his team, but he needs more than 15 shots, in my opinion. Now we go ahead and look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. How did they end up pulling out this game? Because we saw the game, they were definitely down for a lot of it. But one thing I will say is that SGA was able to step up. Their fourth quarter woes to fourth quarter heroics. I said that the Oklahoma City Thunder were going to be able to win because they were going to be able to show that they are better. They are better! They are better overall as a team, even with the coach that they have, than they are against the Indiana Pacers. And SGA said, fuck it, put the ball in my hands, let me take us home. 10 of 10 from the free throw line. He wasn't the greatest from 3, but he hit one when it counted, and he was 12 of 24 from the field, 50%. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are just the better team overall, and I don't think they're going to always need late-minute heroics in the fourth quarter for them to beat the Indiana Pacers. So when it comes down to this squad, I see the Oklahoma City Thunder taking this in 6 games. I do see that, and I do see Indiana Pacers making this a fun series nonetheless, though. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. I still think it's going to end in 6 games. I know that's a bit bold to say, but I would not be shocked if it went to 7. I just truly feel like at the end of the day, the Indiana Pacers have a very, very, very good coach, but their team just doesn't compare to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the coach that the Oklahoma City Thunder that have is hampering them, but it's hampering them in the sense that this series should have been 5 games. If they had a good coach, it probably would have been, but it is what it is. Good team on the Indiana Pacers, though. They're still a really good team, okay? They are. I told you how I feel about Nembhard. I told you how I feel about the rest of the players. Nembhard is definitely an amazing defensive piece, and he gives you the points where it's need be. But one of my biggest things I want to talk about really quickly, I know my 2 minutes are up. I apologize. Miles Turner, he needs to step the fuck up. He needs to step the fuck up. 0 of 6 from 3, okay? He has not been playing that well. Okay, he only gave you 2 boards. He needs to step up. Abso-fucking-lutely. There's no reason that SGA should have more boards than you. That's disgusting. But we'll see what happens. I believe, when do they play again? They play on Monday. So I'll go ahead and talk about that when they end up playing. So Let's go react to the video. Today, Mike Korzemba, the Luka Doncic trade just took a new shocking turn. I'm curious on what that means, but let's get this
Magic
started.
Johnson just shocked everyone by directly calling out Luka Doncic on national television.
Man, Luka got to understand this is not Dallas. To your point, Kobe, superstar who led us, Shaq led us to a championship. LeBron, leadership. That's right. And that's what's missing here. We shouldn't have to tell you to be in shape.
We know that after the Luka trade, Luka got ripped by Nico Harrison for simply being too fat. We also know that Luka has spent this offseason becoming skinny. What we did not expect was for a Lakers legend and former president of basketball operations to call out Luka's leadership and his weight. Lakers fans...
I don't like that. The reason I don't like Magic Johnson coming after Luka Doncic is because it's not necessarily that I disagree with what he says. I understand what Magic is saying. I'm just saying I don't understand why he would say it. Now, if you're wondering what's the difference here, what's the factor? The better factor is the fact that you are part of the Lakers organization, right? It's one thing if he's hearing it in the media. It's one thing if he's hearing it from Stephen A. Smith. It's another thing if he's hearing it from these commentators, whatever. Uses it as fuel. But when he's hearing as someone who is part of the Lakers organization, even if they're not like part of it in a actual official capacity, you're still part. You're Magic Johnson, bro. Kareem's statue is outside of the fucking arena. You are a very important factor of that team. And for you to sit there and, you know, kind of talk down on Luka like that, it's not good. Especially when he can opt out of his contract next year. Because it's like, damn, there's no guarantee you're going to keep him. This is probably LeBron's last season. I think we all can probably agree with that. And if LeBron's not there, I don't see no reason for Luka to stay if he's not being treated with the love and respect that he feels he deserves. He's definitely not going to stay out of respect for the city, considering he was traded from the one that he loved already. So just be careful. I think the verbiage and everything matters, especially when you're talking about a player that has the option to leave as great as he is. Let's see what he does in the next season. I get it. You know, if you want to say that he wasn't in the best shape, whatever, that is fair. But if you're part of the Lakers organization in any capacity, that should be to yourself or be to him privately. And let's see what he can do first. Let's give him a chance. The season hasn't started yet. I've seen a bunch of reports that the man's getting skinny. I saw pictures of him. He looks good. Let's watch. Let's watch Luka play. Let's see how he does this season. And then if you want to keep saying things like that, then I will pull my tongue back. But for now, give the man a chance.
Are enraged by this, saying, not a good look. He got traded mid-season injured. The F is wrong with Magic. He knows that Luka can opt out, right? And the thing is, Magic is not the only one to turn up the pressure on Luka. After losing in the playoffs, JJ Redick said the Lakers roster needed to get into championship shape, clearly directing the statement at Luka, and suddenly, Luka's honeymoon period in Los Angeles is gone. What we have now are tremendous expectations, which is actually good, because fat narrative aside, there is something even more important going on here. Luka's career and legacy are on the line. Luka is about to enter the 8th season of his career. He will be 26 years old. Since he has joined the NBA, we have seen him as a player with all-time top 10 potential, maybe even better. And that talent and potential is still right there, but there is no more time to waste. So what's up, Mike here, and we have a lot to talk about. But before we do, if you are new to the channel and you like this video, only if you enjoy the content, it would be awesome if you could subscribe and turn on post notifications. It really helps out a ton. Again, only if you like the video. And for now, let's jump into this thing. I believe Luka Doncic will win MVPs. I believe he will win titles, but we know that nothing in life is guaranteed, and we also know, we have seen throughout NBA history, we have seen throughout sports history, there are times where superstar young players get hyped up as the next big thing, then finish their careers nowhere near where we thought they would be legacy-wise. The perfect example of this comes in the form of Chris Paul, because after the 2008 NBA season ended, any basketball fan knew that the sky was the limit for Chris Paul. Many thought that he had a legitimate chance to become the top point guard of all time over Magic Johnson, and there is zero exaggeration in that statement.
I wonder if he's going to bring up Lob City. Like, at the end of the day, Chris Paul had the opportunity. He just, you know, Doc Rivers, him, Lob City. I'm sorry. That Clipper team should have won something. Should have done something. DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, him together. Like, and they just couldn't get over that hump. So I wonder if he's going to bring up Lob City. Because I think the thing with Luka is, like, look, he showed he was able to get it done. I don't like comparing Chris Paul to Luka Because one thing I could say is that, listen, I'm not dissing Chris Paul or anything like that. But when he was on the Clippers, didn't get to the finals. When he went to Phoenix, got to the finals, lost. And then when he was on the Houston Rockets, didn't get to the finals. And he had very good lineups all the way through. And now we're looking at Luka, and he was able to get to a finals with a roster, albeit in the Dallas Mavericks, that was a good roster. But it's nowhere compared to the amount of talent that Chris Paul was able to have. So I'm going to be honest, I don't like comparing the two, especially when we look at Chris Paul like the point god. I remember the finals, like he had a good game 3. He had a good game. He did. But the finals overall, I don't know if I'm going to say that, versus Luka, you know, he'll have his ups and his downs, but he will have an overall great series. So I'm not sure if I'm ready to compare the two between Chris Paul and Luka Doncic when Luka has shown you may be the point guard, but I'm Luka Fatboy Doncic, and I can get this team over the hump, baby boy. So, I'm just saying.
Chris Paul in 2008 was just 22 years old, and in his 3rd season, he not only led New Orleans to the 2nd round of the playoffs, he was named first-team All-NBA and finished 2nd in the MVP voting to Kobe Bryant after averaging 21.1 points and a league-leading 11.6 assists and 2.7 steals per game. Massive numbers for the 2000s era. But just like Luka, injuries would plague a young Chris Paul, and while Chris Paul was named an All-NBA selection 8 out of the 9 seasons between 2008 and 2016, as we now know, Chris Paul never came close to becoming the best point guard of all time. He is definitely a Hall of Famer, but he's not in anyone's top 3 as Steph Curry emerged as the real threat to Magic Johnson's GOAT point guard status. Chris Paul is still a Hall of Famer, but because of injuries, his career did not go the way he would have wanted. And again, I do not personally think that this will happen to Luka. I do think that MVPs and championships and all-time legacy are coming. But let's consider this. If you had asked 100 basketball fans 4 years ago who would win the MVP first, Luka or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, unless you were polling Shai's mom, 100 out of 100 people would have said Luka. The NBA is unforgiving though. Even talent like Luka's is not enough. You need to want it more than everyone around you to finish truly as one of the all-time greats. But before we continue, I want to say thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video, because the NBA Finals are officially here. The stage is set, the stakes have never been higher, and every shot could be the difference between glory or heartbreak. And there's still time to get in on the action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you are going to take home $300 in bonus bets. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code Korzemba. The crown is yours. Also, stay in on the action and use your $300 in bonus bets on same game parlays. Those give you an even bigger shot at winning a bigger payout, as you are able to combine multiple bets in the same game. And if you love the thrill of live betting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. Bet live on in-progress games as they happen, making them that much more exciting. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, do not worry, DraftKings has you covered again. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6, where you have a shot to win cash prizes. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code Korzemba, and bet just $5 and receive $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code Korzemba, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Thank you
Oh, I gotta sign up. Damn, I was gonna say.
to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to that video. In the 2024 playoffs, Luka became the first player in NBA history to lead the playoffs in total points, assists, rebounds, and steals. And in the finals, Luka continued to star. It was really his teammates, other than Kyrie Irving, who let him down. Luka, with 29.2 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 2.6 steals per game, led both teams in those categories, and it was only Jason Tatum who averaged more assists per game. A fully healthy, in-shape Luka Doncic might be the best basketball player we have seen since prime LeBron James. But nothing is a guarantee here, as again, we have NBA history to fall back on in the form of Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq is known as the most dominant center of all time if you were to have him in his apex prime. But because he never took his conditioning or practice seriously, Shaq gave up his chance to be known as the best center to ever play the game of basketball. Results on the court are what matters, and so does a player.
I think that's true. I don't think anybody's going to sit here and deny that. But one factor in all of this that I do want to make sure is clear is that it looks like Luka is getting into good shape. We saw here. Should we look up like Luka pictures? Look up some Luka X-rated pictures, maybe? Listen. For research purposes, we're going to go ahead and look up Luka in his underwear. Because, you know, we're researching for basketball. Of course. Luka Doncic. Let's see what we can find. I wonder if he's posting on his fucking Instagram. Give me a second, guys. We're looking. We're trying to see if he... Nah, it's just all his fucking shoes. Luka Doncic. What if I go to Twitter? Fans are reacting to a recent photo of Luka Doncic. I guess show us the photo. God. Can't find a man in his underwear, unfortunately. Of him looking slimmer. Can we see the picture? Show the picture. Show the picture. Show the picture. There we go. Alright. So this is a picture back in May. Look, if this is accurate, first of all, he's making me look at myself. I'm about to look. You about to make me run 10 miles tomorrow at the gym. I hope you understand that. You about to make me go all the way. But if this is accurate, like this is real, yeah. Look at Luka's looking thinner. So let's give the boy a chance to kind of like defend himself from these allegations, huh? He's been called fat boy. Like, let's give him a chance to defend himself from the fat boy allegations, please. Give him a minute. Let us see if he's actually slimmed down or if he's still stuffing that face. But let's give him a chance. That's all I'm asking. And then, if you want to keep calling him fat, you can. But for now, I'm going to wait until the season starts.
Legacy when he retires. And that means that if we are being completely honest, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander suddenly has a real chance to finish his career with a better basketball resume than Luka Doncic. And we've actually seen this exact...
Can we relax, bro? Holy fuck. Can we relax? One MVP and maybe one finals MVP ahead of him. And we don't think Luka can catch up? Okay? Let's relax. You're acting like we're talking about a 33, 34-year-old Luka and like a 26-year-old Shai. They're relatively around the same age, and not only that, Luka's got time, and it looks like he slimmed down. Let's relax. God damn. You sound like one of these kids calling Luka Unk. He's not retiring tomorrow. Let's give him a chance. Let's relax.
Exact same situation happened before with Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Shai and Luka have both played 7 seasons in their careers. In their first 4 seasons, Shai averaged 18.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game, and was a 0-time All-Star. Luka in his first 4 seasons averaged 26.4 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, while he was not only a 3-time All-Star, he was also a 3-time member of the first-team All-NBA. But now, Shai is suddenly on easily the best roster in the NBA. Even if the Thunder do not win the championship this year, they have a young core that will definitely be competing for a title for the next 5 years or more. Luka and the Lakers are not sure what comes next when LeBron...
They got a good young core. They do, but I don't trust that coach. I don't trust that coach. And if you've been watching these games, you probably agree with me. I don't trust the coach in the fourth quarter. I don't trust the coach when it comes down to crunch time situations. We got to see how the rest of the season plays out next year and the seasons to come. They have a great young core, but especially with that second apron, I don't see this being the Spurs, albeit because the Spurs had players on their team where money was not really their motivating factor, where Oklahoma City Thunder winning is probably their motivating factor, just like the San Antonio Spurs. But one, they had a great coach, so there's that. And two, these Williams, Holmgren, SGA, like, do we really think they're going to take pay cuts? Do we see that happening? Do we see every single one of those players taking pay cuts? Because keep in mind, Ginobili had to take a cut. Parker had to take a cut. Tim Duncan had to take a cut. And this is way before the second apron. So, what are we saying? Like, do you guys actually think, like, these guys have the same type of mentality as that Spurs team and they're going to take cuts? I just don't know. Lou Dort's going to take a cut? You think these guys are going to take cuts? A lot of people thought that Bruce Brown was going to take a cut. He left. So I don't know, bro. And I'm just saying that's the biggest thing with the Nuggets. The Nuggets lost their fucking key factors because they weren't willing to pay more for the players that helped them get to the championship in the first place. KCP. Okay? Did not want to take a cut. Went and got his bag. So we gotta understand that if they're not willing to take a cut, it's probably not going to be a dominating, like, I don't know if we're going to have a dynasty again. Too many things have to work out well for a dynasty to happen. Right? We know that. And we need players that are willing to take cuts. And I don't know if there's going to be many players like that. They're going to want to get their bag. And albeit to them, respect. If you're going to play the level you're playing at, you deserve to get the money that you fucking deserve. But I don't know if we're going to have a dynasty again, because I don't know if we're going to have enough players to want to take cuts. That's the problem. And I think it's probably a good thing, you know? It's good to have some diversity in the league, not really know who's going to win at any time. You know, dynasties are fun if it's your team in the dynasty, okay? Let's just be honest. Dynasties are fun if it's your team. If it's not your team, it's not really that fun. So it is fun if we have like a switch up every couple of years or so. That's fun. So we'll see what happens. I just don't. Everybody keeps saying they're the new San Antonio Spurs. They're the new San Antonio Spurs. They're not taking an offense in the fact of coaching. But let's say that doesn't matter. They're not taking the fact that we live in the era of the second apron, so they wouldn't be able to afford everybody. But let's say they can try to afford everybody, and they're not living in the fact that these players are probably not going to be taking these type of pay cuts. So there's too many things to look at to just say they're the new San Antonio Spurs. I don't think that's true, but we'll see.
On leaves. And in terms of stats, the gap here has closed. In the last 3 seasons, Shai has averaged 31.4 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. He has also been named first team All-NBA all 3 of those years and was MVP this year. Luka in those 3 years has averaged 31.8 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 8.6 assists per game, with just 2 first team All-NBA selections, as due to injuries and games played, he was not eligible to be named an All-NBA anything this year. Injuries in the NBA pile up, and losing weight for Luka Doncic could easily offset the injuries he has been suffering from, because injuries in the NBA are a cruel beast. Even if you are in perfect shape, they can strike you. So will this offseason be the difference maker in Luka's career? He has been looking slim, but the sentiment from NBA fans is this. We've heard the Luka has lost a lot of weight narrative in the past. Till he actually shows up in the first game of the season in supreme shape, fans are just simply not going to believe the weight loss narrative. I do think this is the offseason this changes though. And if we watch clips from Luka from his rookie season, we can tangibly see just how important this weight loss is. An increase in speed and athleticism at a lower weight will be used by Luka to raise his already MVP level game to new heights, and perhaps most importantly on defense, it will help him to stay in front of his opponents. Now, there is no denying that even if Luka is overweight for an NBA player, he is still one of the top talents in the league. He is just that good. But in the last 2 seasons, Luka has had 3 total dunks. Injuries have played a part here, yes, but Luka is not 34 years old. He was just 25 last season, and all of last year, he dunked 1 time. It really is, his talent is so absurdly great that he has succeeded at the highest level in spite of this weight.
I promise you, if Luka like comes out, I'm telling you guys this right now. If Luka comes out the first game with the Lakers and like dunks the ball, I'm immediately putting down as much money I can feasibly can on the Lakers winning the championship. If the motherfucker comes out in the first game and like dunks the ball hard, ooh, I'm putting my money on the Lakers all day, baby.
Which brings us back to Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. We are watching in real time as the media is already picking apart Kevin Durant's legacy. They're saying that he made a mistake leaving the Golden State Warriors. They are also saying
all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around and talk about you a champion. If you riding the bus, I don't want to hear it.
To end the 2014 season at the age of just 25, Kevin Durant was named MVP of the NBA. He was named first team All-NBA for the 5th time in a row, and in his career, he had already led the Thunder to the finals. No one would have said that he was not capable of driving the bus, and no one would have predicted that Steph Curry was about to have a better career. Steph in the 2014 season was the same age as Kevin Durant, and he had just made his first All-Star team. But then from the 2015 season onward, it was Steph Curry who would go on to dominate. Steph won both his first MVP and his first championship at the age of 26. So the question is, will Luka take the Steph Curry route and end up as a top 10 all-time legend? Or will he take the Kevin Durant route and end up as an all-time great, but not in that same rarefied air? But I want to know, what do you think down below? And there we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you are new to the channel, please...
Listen, Luka, if you can help my man back there end his career with 5 rings, I'm gonna love you forever. I will buy a Luka jersey and I'll wear it once a week, bro. Just give my man back there 1 more ring. That's all you need to do. Luka, if you can hear me in the ethos, Get my man Bron, King Bron, one more ring. Let him retire with 5, and I'll have nothing but respect for you, my boy. That's it. That's all I would want. But that was a good video overall. I liked the video. If you guys liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you want me to react to, and I will. Please join me in my streams, my gaming streams. I sit there, I yap basketball, I yap nonsense, I play games, I have fun. So I hope you guys can join me on that. Well, until next time, my friends, I need to go sleep. I think. I don't know. But I got shit I need to do. Peace out. Love you. Bye-bye.